morning, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Welcome to Pathways to Success, where we turn the spotlight on the heroes of the Philippine economy, our micro, small, and medium enterprises. We follow their inspiring journey and give great insight on what it takes to scale up their business. MSMEs in the Philippines contribute to more than 40% of the country's GDP and employs around 63% of the workforce. But many entrepreneurs still struggle to turn their passion ventures into a sustainable business. Success begins with a spark of inspiration, but it demands strategy, flexibility, and a robust support system in the long term. Today, we'll discuss how to establish a strong foundation, develop a unique business concept, and build a community that empowers your business. Joining us to share his insights and inspiring journey is a serial entrepreneur and advocate for MSME success. Let's all welcome Mr. Jorge Noel Wieneke. Good morning,
Good
Coach
morning.
George.
Thank you for inviting me in
Very
today's
good.
show.
Very good to have you here. Now, first of all, we all know you as one of the co-founders of one of the biggest franchises in the country, Potato Corner. Tell us a bit more about how you got started.
Well, we started in 1991. All of us were really struggling, facing life. We're all young. We're very, very young. We don't know how to. We don't know how to build a business. We don't know how to run a business. But there was a determination to change life. I always share this to my students that your success, you have to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot.
In simple terms.
Well, in simple terms, you must feel pain in order to be successful.
Okay.
So we were all struggling. We had families. We were looking for ways to support our families. That's why we thought of putting up a business, which is the flavored French fries.
And it became huge.
It became
huh?
huge. We did not expect that. We opened in Mega Mall in October 16, 1991. And we did not expect that it's going to be a huge hit at that time.
So, sabi mo nga, you must first experience pain before
Yes.
success. Ang dito nga sa book mo na Bounce, ang subtitle niya, Crying, Trying, Frying, Flying. So, may crying muna.
Of course.
Okay.
Well, in that book, that's the metaphor or the story, the journey of an entrepreneur. One must cry first and one must do a lot of trying.
Okay. So, for all of you out there just starting a business, do not be discouraged kasi ganun talaga. You first feel pain, there's a crying stage. Pero Coach George is here to tell us about the staying power of every business. Ano yung secret? Pero at first, Sir George, what encouraged you to stay in business kahit na merong mga pains, may crying faces?
Well, of course, it starts with the dream, okay, and a vision. My dream is to really have my own company that will support my family. I always tell people, ang negosyo sa umpisa inaalagaan, sa huli ang negosyo ang mag-aalaga sa'yo. So I'm looking forward for that later on, that business will take care of me and my family and even my apos.
So what is one lesson from your journey that MSMEs can start applying right now?
Well, the lesson is, number one, you have to control your fear. Don't let fear control you because you're going to lose sight of your dream. The moment fear controls you, that's it. Number two, you need to challenge assumption. Marami sa atin gusto magnegosyo pero natatakot because they don't want to challenge the assumption. Baka mali, baka malugi, puro baka. Okay? The other one is, focus on the rewards. The rewards is stable income for your family.
And it can be immense.
Yes.
Right? Well, a lot of MSMEs begin with a single idea and big dreams. Now, how do you turn that spark into a real business with staying power?
Okay, the first thing that I tell my mentees or people who wants to put up a business or make the idea into reality is to ask yourself, do you really know yourself? That's the first thing that you have to ask yourself. Number two, are you determined to do the long journey ride? Kasi mahirap siya. There's going to be a lot of frustration. The moment you say, you're ready, I know yourself, it's now start to make that idea into reality. Making idea into reality is very easy. But the hardest part now is making your business product relatable or attractive to the market. Ito na yung market fit. Ito na yung pinakamahirap. You have to do song and dance for people to buy your product.
Tsaka dapat may unique selling point.
Yes. Of course, that's also one. It has to be different. The key is differentiator. It has to have a unique selling proposition like what we did with our flavored French fries.
Yeah.
In 1991, we were different from others. In fact, there was some talks from the oldies, dapat kasama yan ng hamburger. Bakit yan lang yun?
Oo, bakit French fries lang?
Yes, at that time. But we did not allow fear to control us. We challenged the norms and we challenged tradition. So that's what happened to them. 2012, it happened again. I'm selling a tempura in a mall. Normally, tempura, you eat it inside the restaurant with nice, hot Japanese rice. But again, I challenged the norms, I challenged the assumption. I sold my tempura in a kiosk and a cart. And in 2012, we had 10 stores. Before the pandemic, we had 100 stores nationwide.
Yes, you challenge the norm. Huwag kang matakot, okay? If you have an idea and you think it's gonna click with the customers, go with it.
Go for it.
Okay. So ngayon, the first few months in a business, they're often the very hardest parts, ano? So what were the hurdles early on and, your advice to how to hurdle those obstacles?
Well, the first advice is really focus on the reward. That's one. Number two, expose yourself with people. Like look for experienced people or mentors that can validate your moves or your ideas. It's because ang nature kasi ng mga nagninegosyo, they always want to validate their moves. And having that validation gives them motivation.
Well, they say that a mentored business grows 3 times faster than those without mentorship. So any particular success story that you want to share with us?
Well, before the pandemic, I mentored this lady from Davao. She's selling Graham mango ice cream. And it was a hit. And when I met this girl during one of my lectures, she gravitated to me. She gave time to talk to me. She gave time to see me for mentoring. And before the pandemic, she had 100 stores nationwide, and she was able to open 1 store in the US.
Wow. Oo.
So she's very successful.
That's very impressive.
Oh.
So would it be cost effective to have a coach from the very beginning?
Well, yes, because it gives you an overview from the view that you don't see from outside. So it's really good to have one.
Okay, it's really about laying the right foundation. Now, we have barely scratched the surface on the benefits of mentoring for our entrepreneurs, and we have more to discuss. Don't go anywhere. When we return, we will uncover essential strategies to help you succeed. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Pathways to Success. We're also being streamed live on the Bilyonaryo News Channel Facebook and YouTube pages. So drop us your business questions in the comments section. We are still with serial entrepreneur Jorge Wieneke. This time we'll explore marketing strategies for small businesses and developing that it factor for MSMEs. Now, of course, George, markets change very fast. So how can MSMEs become flexible so that they stay on top of trends?
Well, this is also what I tell them. You have to be adaptable to the situation and the changes. You have to be agile. Dapat mabilis. Every week, nag-iiba ang behavior ng consumer, especially us in the food industry. So you have to observe the surroundings, browse the social media, because you're going to see a lot of changes in behavior in the social media. That helps me create or craft a marketing activity for my customer.
So 1 minute it's flavored fries, the next minute it's flavored milk tea.
Yes.
So ang dami, no? Now, talking about marketing, no matter how small, a business needs that it factor to stand out. So what's your advice on creating an idea that really clicks with customers?
Well, number one, it has to be different. Number two, look at your product. It has to give joy to your customer, because people after the pandemic are all looking for joyful experience. Like for instance, in my case, I bundle my tempura to different glaze or different flavor or different partners. Like I have a French fries with tempura, with glaze and everything. So
you can
just
experiment.
Introduce something. You experiment.
Yeah. And also, maybe think about the promos as well?
Yes. Alam mo, pinakamaganda ngayon because marketing became so easy for the small, medium enterprise because of social media. Before, in 1991, we cannot afford a marketing campaign because it's expensive to put a spot in a TV or a billboard. Now, with 2,000, 1,000, you can share and cascade all information about your product.
Oh, talking about putting out the information out there, getting the word out to your consumers, what are the smart, budget-friendly ways to get the word out about your products?
Okay, in my case, we do content for our products, we do content for our promos, and we post it in social media. Average budget we spend is around 5,000 pesos per week. But that's too small. If you want it wider, it could be 2,000 pesos, 500 per day. And that's 75,000 per month. It's still cheaper than a spot or a radio spot or a TV spot to promote your product.
Yes, make use of social media. It's out there. It's a tool that we can all use.
Maganda pa, you can target your market.
Yes, exactly. Now, let's talk about franchising, which can lead to big growth, but it's also a very huge risk. It depends on what franchise business you get into. So what should we keep in mind before jumping into franchising?
Well, in my opinion, the safest franchise business model is food. And the cheapest, or not cheapest, the affordable is the kiosk or the takeout counter. Number one, if you want to franchise, you have to make sure that you do your research. You look at the background of the franchisor. Make sure that that franchisor is really a practitioner, and the history of that, and also check the history of the franchisor also. He's really into food ba? Expert ba siya dun?
Yeah. Do your due diligence,
Yes.
do a background check.
And then look at all his stores. See if there's people buying. Okay. Talk to the existing franchisee regarding their business. Kamusta ang benta? Kamusta ang relationship with your franchisor? Okay. Browse the internet. Tingnan mo kung maganda siya, marami ba sila, active pa sila sa internet.
Okay, Coach George, what skills or resources do you think are especially valuable for MSMEs to focus on?
Well, the skills that they need to develop is self-determination. You know, I've been in this industry for 32 years. I could probably conclude that positive attitude is the key to be a good entrepreneur. It's really a mind game. It represents two, how they think and how they act. So that's the first thing. Kaya nga sa eskwelahan rin, ng pag-ninegosyo, we start with the 3 pillars. Actually, the first pillar is preparation for entrepreneurial mindset. The second pillar is creating the enterprise. The third pillar is expanding and growing the enterprise. That's why nag-uumpisa muna sa mindset. So, let's prepare them that entrepreneurship is not an easy career. It is a very, very hard career. Ngayon kasi parang madali because people are sharing success stories. Pero the behind the scene, hindi naman napapakita ngayon yun eh. So mahirap yung sa likod. Kaya lang, we need to prepare them because some of them are not really prepared for this. Gumigive up kagad sila in the middle of the game.
Okay, it's important to have these skills for you to be successful. But we need to take another quick break. Don't go anywhere. Pathways to Success. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Pathways to Success. Here is some good news. A refund of 16 billion pesos awaits Meralco consumers. That's according to the Vice Chair of the Senate Committee on Energy, Senator Win Gatchalian, following an estimate made by Meralco on a regulatory reset covering the period of 2022 to 2026. The refund represents the actual weighted average price and the maximum average price, or the highest allowable cost that can be charged to consumers. Gatchalian adds the refund could even be higher than 16 billion pesos once the Energy Regulatory Commission completes resetting the distribution rate. That is good news, and we can't wait for that. Now back to our guest, business mentor and serial entrepreneur, Coach Jorge Wieneke. Now, Coach George, we have a question from one of our viewers on Facebook, and she is asking, if I have savings of 500,000, can I do all in and get a franchise?
Yes, there are franchisors that offering a package of 500,000 or a 300,000.
Give us some examples, Coach George.
My company,
for capital
my
500, 300.
500,000 can give you a cart, equipment, and already the whole thing, initial stocks. In my case, that's the total package that we offer, 499. But there's also others that offering a 300. But I need to warn them not to get a franchise na yung mura, yung super mura. You have to think also bakit masyadong mura yon. The 80,000, the 25,000. You have to be careful also. Baka fly by night kasi.
Okay. Where can they go to check on these franchises?
Well, you can, if you want to check if they're good franchisor, you can check AFI, Association of Filipino Franchisors, or Philippine Franchise Association. There are two franchise associations that police the ranks of their members.
Right. So do your background check before you dive in. Now, it's important to have a supportive community if you're going to a business venture. Who are these usually? Who make up that community for you?
Well, number one, the mentors. Mentors are all over the place. Alam mo, nauso ang mentoring eh. Nauso yung mentoring sa Pilipinas. And I'm jealous. When I started the French fries business, there were no mentors.
Wala kayong mentors back then?
There were no mentors. There were no seminar about entrepreneurship. Nag-uumpisa pa lang noon. And at that time, being an entrepreneur is not really accepted by society. Okay, society, mas nakatingin sila sa engineer, doktor. So, at that time, pero hindi rin pwede pag-usapan yung success at that time because success is supposed to be the secret recipe. That was the culture. And here comes 1991, 1993, as we go along, naging open siya. So, everybody became a mentor. Everybody now is sharing the success story. That's why the first thing that you have to do is, look for a mentor or join all the seminars. There's a lot of seminars. All the private associations are conducting seminars about entrepreneurship. The government has regular seminars like DTI. They have a lot of seminars and programs for people who want to learn.
Go out and learn, help yourself, because learning is a continuous process. Now, many MSMEs have amazing ideas, but many also hold back from taking that first step. Your final words to maybe inspire them to dive in and seek guidance and pursue a business?
Well, my final words, normally I normally tell people, pag hindi mo gawa, hindi mo kita. There are two meanings here. If you don't do it, you will not learn from it. If you don't do it, you will not earn from it. That is the lesson I have learned in doing the flavored French fries. If I didn't do it, I will not learn about it. I won't learn about entrepreneurship, and I will not earn. But what happened there in 1991, we did it. So we learned and we earned.
Thank you, Sir George, for coming over, sharing with us your inspiring journey.
Thank you so much.
And that is our episode today. Thank you for joining us. We hope you've been inspired to pursue your passion and chase your dreams with determination. Watch our episodes again on our social media channels and Facebook and YouTube. I'm Mai Rodriguez. We'll see you again tomorrow only here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.